Welcome back, guys. It is Dr. Tom here. Today we are looking all at neck and shoulder pain. So what are the main causes of neck and shoulder pain? Number one, posture. Is a forward head, rounded shoulders, elevated shoulders. All these things going to contribute to make things tight, jammed through the joints. So muscle imbalances as well. So this includes things such as tight pecs, tight upper traps, and the good postural muscles such as the lower rhomboids, the lower traps, those things that pull the shoulders down and open up the chest, being less active and less strong. So we need to kind of reverse this with the rehab we do today. So inactivity is a huge one. If we don't move, we don't get blood flow to these tissues, and what happens? The tissues become more rigid and are more likely to get little strains through them, become tighter, and in doing so, it just creates this vicious cycle. Stress is a huge one, and as we know, and in previous videos we've gone over, stress gets held in our upper traps. So these muscles at the top that contribute to the shoulders lifting. Our levator scapular muscle, which contributes to that jamming motion of the shoulders lifting up and jamming that neck. Sleeping is obviously a huge one, as well as underlying injuries, of course, such as bulging disc, facet joint injuries, rib dysfunctions. So today we're going to run through a bunch of stretches, trigger point release, as well as strength exercises that's going to change the muscle imbalance, hopefully improve our posture and get you to where you want to be with your neck pain and stiffness. Let's go. Basic stretches, guys, upper trap stretches. So very simple. Here we are holding for 20 to 30 seconds. First one, tall neck, reaching overhead, left ear to left shoulder, holding here for 20 to 30 seconds with this arm here. If you've got a chair beside you, you can reach down, try and lower this shoulder. If not, if you've got a little weight, you can hold that. Anything that's going to promote that shoulder to drop down. If I lift my chair a little bit here, you're going to see me, I can grab onto my chair and that's going to lever it down. So 20 to 30 seconds, slowly change sides, drop this shoulder, right ear to right shoulder, make sure there's no pain. 20 to 30 seconds here. Trying to use your breath. As you breathe out, relax. Let that shoulder drop. So that's for the upper traps. Then that levator scapular muscle we're talking about, that also lifts the shoulder blades and jams that neck. That's next. So what we're going to be doing here, I call this sniff the armpits. So what we are literally doing is sniffing the armpits. We go nose into the armpit, over pressure with the hand, and the same thing with his shoulder, reaching as low as we can. And then same thing here, 20 to 30 seconds holding this stretch. Trying to relax into it. So don't force it too much. After that 20 to 30 seconds, we're slowly coming up, move the neck around for a second, keep the neck nice and tall, reach down with the left shoulder, let's go and start to smell the armpit of the right arm, and then over pressure and into the stretch through there. So 20 to 30 seconds holding this. And we should be able to start to get more and more mobility as we use that breath to relax into it. Okay guys, so the next one we are going to use a towel. So go the long ways with the towel. We're gonna roll this up. And once we get into position, so we're gonna go opposite ways with the way we roll it up. Now, getting into this, we're going to crisscross the hand. So if we, with our left hand, go above, I'm gonna grab that with my other hand, go below with the other. We're going to lock the bottom towel in first, slowly start to apply pressure, and then with this hand here, we're pulling down towards our left pocket, and with this one here, we're going towards the top right corner of the room. So we're pulling in opposite directions just like that. And same thing as the stretch as before, we're holding this for 20 to 30 seconds, using the breath. And as you breathe out, letting that shoulder depress, letting that yourself go into the stretch more and more, and doing that. To reverse sides, they're pretty much just the opposite thing. So keep the left arm on, go left arm higher, right arm lower, lock the lower one in first, make sure I'm not on my mic here, and pulling down towards the corner of the room, up towards the opposite corner, relax, let that shoulder drop down, We don't want this to be too extreme either. So if there is any pain or discomfort, that's not the point of the exercise. We want to keep it relatively light. So 20 to 30 seconds in this one here, trying to relax as much as possible into it. After that 20 to 30 seconds, we can come out and we'll get into the next one. All right, guys, so for this next one, we're going to come over to a door frame. With the door frame here, we're going to go with our elbows shoulder width high. We're going to step through with one leg, apply a stretch into our pecs, into our chest muscle. Try and puff that chest out as you come through. Once you feel a stretch, we're going to apply a little bit of resistance into our elbow. So squeezing those elbows forward, lightly into the wall. Holding that for 3 seconds with the resistance. As you breathe out, relax and let everything completely go in that shoulder. So let the pec go on more stretch. Then on the next breath in, a little bit of resistance again, just for 3 seconds. And as you breathe out, let yourself sink through a little more into that stretch. So we're going to complete 6 repetitions of this and a little bit of pressure again. And you should feel that that stretch starts to increase more and more. Now the other one I want you to do here, same position. You can lift those elbows just a little bit and this is going to get into the same muscle, just slightly different attachment. So arms, elbows well above the shoulders here. Squeeze the elbows forward and then stepping through that door. You're going to probably find that one of these stretches a lot more than the other. And everyone can be a little different with this. That's good. And so same thing with that one, 6 repetitions, holding forward with that resistance for 3 seconds, relaxing for the rest of the exhale, so however long your exhale is. Okay guys, so for all of my trigger point release, or a lot of my trigger point release, I love using a lacrosse ball. Super cheap, easy to use, easy to travel with. You can take wherever to the office. For our first one here, what we are going to do, I call this the rugby scrum. I want to try and hit the upper traps when I'm doing this. So I'm going to be putting the ball into the wall, finding that sore spot. And once I find the sore spot, I'm going to go using my legs as levers, 20 little rolls up and down on that sore spot. So this is normally pretty tender. Try and keep this arm here that we're using pretty relaxed so you're barely switching it on. So once we have done this on both sides, we've found our trigger points. It normally takes about 2 to 3 minutes to go through. Then we're going to do the same thing except this time. And once we get into the position here, we're going to just rotate our neck away from the wall, hold, and then slowly come back. This should feel like a solid pull where the ball is here. So as we rotate away, it's going to be pretty tender. So you may not get all the way around. We're just going to that barrier. And I'll change sides here so you can get a better idea. That's the traps. You roll a little forward from the traps, come into the wall. And then you can't see my head right now, but I'm just rotating away. Okay guys, so we've done our stretching, our trigger point release. The last thing we're going to focus on today is strength. So to try and strengthen ourselves into a better posture and try and change that muscle imbalance that may be occurring right now. So to start off with, you've probably heard of these ones before, and I always like to start, if you haven't done them before, to start laying on our back. So you can go bent knees into the table. Now, what I want you to do, palms facing the ceiling, you're going to try and squeeze the back of the head down into the table. So the best thing to focus on here is to almost squeeze it back and try and give yourself a double chin. And after 5 seconds, you can let it naturally come back up. So just a couple of seconds here off, go back down, squeeze, hold, and slowly coming up from there. So we're going to go through 7 repetitions here of just trying to squeeze, activate. So if this one isn't too bad laying down, we can do phase 2 of this, which is a little harder, and we do this seated. So the same thing here. I always, another analogy is to have, you've got smelly fingers in front of you, doesn't smell good, so you bring your head back, yeah? Not to smell. So you can focus on the double chin, number 1, as you pull back, trying to keep that chin tucked, give yourself a big old double chin, and then smelly fingers in front to try and really force it back. So as we do this as well, shoulders low, good posture, 5 seconds, and then a release. So 7 repetitions here as well, making sure we get those 5 seconds. Holds. And with this one as well, guys, what I want you to focus on is doing this throughout the day. If you're driving in a car for long periods of time, you're sitting at a desk and your neck's been coming forward, we call this turtleneck. We want this one to be done as much as possible. You can do it wherever or whenever you want. You will look like a bit of an idiot if you're sitting in the car and the person next to you is looking at you, but it's gonna help, so why not do it? Okay guys, so for our next one, we are going to focus on our lower traps. So as we've already gone over before, we've been trying to release our upper traps. When we get too much upper trap definition, the lower traps naturally will start to switch off and they'll become underdeveloped. So we want to try and strengthen the lower traps, and that's the motion they achieve is squeezing the shoulder blades back and down. And you can naturally see here, when I squeeze back and down, what does that do to the base of my neck? I'm gonna do, my first exercise here is gonna be laying down on the table. From here, I'm going to go palms facing the table. We're gonna lift the chest off, and then with our shoulder blades here and our arms lifted just off, we're going to try and squeeze those shoulder blades as far down and back down towards the opposite pockets. And as you lift up, trying to keep focusing on giving yourself, not looking up, trying to give yourself that double chin, and then slowly head down, resting on the table again. So when we're ready, we're going to lift up, hold for 5 seconds, shoulder blade squeezing down, tucking that chin. 7 repetitions here, guys. 2, 1, slowly dropping down. And the last one we're going to do today is doing our Y's on the wall. So as the name suggests here, we're going to start by going a little wider than shoulder width with the feet, a little bit of bend in the knees, elbows and wrist pressing back against the wall. Now, as we go wrist into the wall, we often want to extend our lower back, but that's a no-no. We want to lock that lower back into the wall, hold it there, and then once we're in position, squeeze those shoulder blades together, keep everything tucked, squeezing, putting pressure back into the wrist and the elbows as we reach as high as we possibly can, and then slowly keeping both wrists and elbows in contact with the wall, bringing those elbows as low as possible without lifting that lower back, because you're going to start to feel that you want to cheat and you want to extend your back, but no, you're keeping things tucked, locking these ribs down, core should be switched on, and then let's going straight back up from there. So 10 repetitions here, keeping things controlled, keeping things slow, keeping things tucked at your own pace. Hope you enjoyed today's session, guys. Remember that consistency is the main thing with this. So a little bit every day works way better than doing a long, big session once a week. So do a little bit every day, add this to your routine, try and do those chin tucks throughout the day. Within these first few weeks, we should start to notice these improvements. Make sure to like and subscribe, comment, all those things. So until next time, guys, take care.